In this lesson, we're going to take what we've learned about masking and push it a little bit further. I'll start off though by talking about what kind of content you can and cannot use in a mask. What you can use is almost anything. Movie clips, bitmaps, even text. What you can't use though is transparency. To flash, a mask is either fully opaque or fully absent. And sure, it's a limitation, but there are ways around it. You can, however, use transparency in the objects that are masked. And for the rest of this lesson, we're going to use that to make a cool text effect. Again, in the file called masking.fla in your work files, you'll see the end result of what we're about to do. For this lesson, though, I'm continuing on with the file we worked with in the last lesson. Let's create a new layer, and this is going to be the mask layer. We're going to use text as a mask, so grab the text tool. Select a color, and because this is a mask and it's not going to show up in the final exported movie, I'm going to pick my favorite garish red. Open the Properties panel, and first off, make sure that this drop-down list at the left is set to static text. Grab a font and set the font size up to fairly large. Click on the stage and type in some text. Okay, now for the masked layer. Create another layer again, but this one needs to be just below the mask layer, so drag it down. And on this one, we're going to create a rectangle. Grab the rectangle tool, turn the stroke off, and grab a fill color. Again, the fill color doesn't really matter at this stage because we're going to apply a gradient a little bit later. Click and drag to create a rectangle a little bit higher and about the same width as your text. Now we need to set up the gradient. Select your rectangle, and if you need to, you can lock the text layer. Now open the Color Mixer panel, choosing Window and Color Mixer, and set the fill type to linear. Click on the right slider and set it to a fairly bright color. I'm going to use a very, very bright blue. Click the left slider and use the same or a similar color, but set the alpha of this one down to 0. Now we don't need the color mixer anymore, so we can close that, and let's apply the mask. Right-click on a PC or Control-click on a Mac to open the context menu on the top layer, that's the one with the text on it, and choose Mask. And there's our masking effect. That's pretty cool, but let's go one step further. Let's animate this. Unlock the mask assembly layers and grab the contents of the bottom one. That's the rectangle. Now we've already learned that we can't animate basic drawn artwork, so let's convert this into a symbol. Choose Modify and Convert to Symbol. We'll make this a movie clip. Hit OK. And now we're going to make it move across from left to right. We'll start off by moving it over here to the left. And I'm using the arrow keys on the keyboard for this. Now, at the end of this section of frames, I'll hit the F6 key and insert a keyframe. At this keyframe, we'll move this rectangle all the way over to the right. Apply motion tweening to the first keyframe. There is our tween. And of course, to see the effect of the masking, we need to lock these layers again. Drag the playhead, and there's our effect. And that's it. Now we're going to end this lesson and move on to the next one. In the meantime, though, have a think about what you can use this effect with. The possibilities are almost unlimited. Bitmaps, funky designs, and even video can be used as the masked object.